Hello, 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 everyone. Thank you so much for joining me once again for another book review. I'm so happy that you tuned in. So let's go ahead and get right on into this. The book is called Playing Nice by J.P. Delaney. Now, I do not have the a physical copy of the book. I listened to the audiobook version. So I will be attaching a copy of what the book cover looks like at the end of this video for your reference. Okay. So this is the viewer's choice read for the month of May, and it was suggested by Alicia Nguyen. Thank you, Alicia, for your participation and this book suggestion. I didn't know what to expect when I drew this suggestion out of the vase. Okay, so yeah. I don't know if this would have been something on my radar. It definitely was not on my to be read list. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into it. This story navigates how two families deal with the knowledge that their children were switched at birth. So let me tell you about the characters involved. There is Theo, who is one of the children, and Theo is in a hitting phase and attends a daycare slash day school. He is a rambunctious and relatively normal developing child. Then there is Daniel, the other child involved. Now, Daniel has some delays in the area of physical and mental health. Daniel is not developing normally and needs some special care. Then there is Pete, one of the parents. Now, Pete had a career as a journalist and was let go after downsizing occurred. Pete became the stay at home parent caring for his son. Now, Pete is in a relationship with Maddie. Maddie works at an advertising agency and she has had some mental health issues after giving birth to their son. Now, after receiving treatment, she returned to work to support her family and seemed, relatively back to normal. Now, Lucy is the other parent involved, and she is a stay at home mother and is married to Miles. Now, something seems off about Lucy. However, she appears to be a good, attentive, and caring mother. Miles works for a financial company, and Miles appears to be friendly, but there is an underlying current of ulterior motive lurking. He just does not seem right. Okay. So this story begins with a knock on the door where Miles, with the assistance of a private detective, Mr. McGuire, break the news to Pete about the children. It was determined the children were switched at birth while in the hospital. Now, there has to be a decision on if the parents can work things out amongst themselves, on if the children should remain with their believed parents or switch to their rightful biological parents. Now, I know you're wondering which child belongs to which parents. Well, I left that out on purpose. Okay, so you're going to have to read the book to find out which child belongs to which parents. Yeah. Now, Miles and Lucy have started the process to sue the hospital, which starts an investigation of the hospital to determine if there was a procedure error or staff neglectfulness or intentional swapping by someone, as both children were born premature in the private hospital. This story shows that people aren't always as they portray themselves to be. Things went from cordial to bad to worse, and well, you'll have to read the story to find out how things ended up. You will get an inside and outside view of each parental relationship and how that impacts this situation. When faced with this situation, as described in this book, the stress, secrets, and implications can break a relationship or make it stronger if the parties pull through with a favorable outcome. but the relationship wouldn't be the same for sure. Now, you'll have to read the book to see how these relationships fared after this upsetting situation. Now, the author did a great job giving us an intriguing and captivating story. So, thank you so much, Alicia Nguyen, for suggesting this book. The contrast in parents in terms of finances, um, parenting style, and home lifestyle will have you go back and forth on which situation would be best for the children. The parents' journey through this process was conveyed in a heartfelt way. You're able to see the emotions and thought process regarding this unfortunate situation. The author keeps the reader's attention, and you will want to know how everything plays out. As fictional as this story is supposed to be, it is real life experiences for many families dealing with the legal system, social services, and other professionals. The legalities and the process of how everything went down was disheartening, shocking, and just irritating. At least to me it was. Now, this agency, CASCAF is what they call it. Their behaviors and so-called procedures were, to say the least, irritating. And it seemed as if they had already made their decision and were just going through the motions to support it. It seemed like the professionals were making things harder for the family. It made me think that the staff were being biased, thinking the wealthy are automatically more suitable parents and would have a better home life. The professionals were supposed to remain impartial and look towards the best interests of the child, regardless of the parental connections in the community or financial standing, and look beyond, surface level. It just seemed to me that the investigation was very one-sided. Like only one set of parents were being assessed and monitored and just put through the ringer. And I was like, hold up, aren't y'all supposed to be looking at both sets of parents? Like, are you doing this to the other set of parents? It did not seem like they were. So you'll have to read the book to find out what the final verdict is on what happens with these parents and children. I will say there are some twists and turns and some unexpected happenings. Like I said, the assessment of the parents, uh, it brought out some pretty, I would say, common things because of the profession that I am in. But if I wasn't in the profession that I am in, I may look at this book a little bit differently. However, because of my profession, I was like, yeah, heard it, seen it. And the actions of the parents were a little shocking. I'm not going to give too much away, but yeah, one set of parents, seemed a little bit more cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs than the other one. To me, they both had equal concerns that should have been addressed by professionals, which I think the professionals in this case were not as unbiased, neutral, or as thorough with both sets of parents. Just my little tidbit there. There are some warnings to give. There is commentary on premature birth experience and aftermath, including feelings and thoughts of parents, information regarding mental illness and behaviors attached. There is domestic violence and cheating mentioned. There is also death and murder described. And, the topic itself of children being swapped and the emotions attached to that can be jarring for some. You may have a wide range of emotions while reading this book. I mean, I know I did. I was irritated. I was like shocked. I was kind of appalled. I was kind of like at a loss for words in some parts because I was just like, is this happening? Like, what the what? The book is classified as a thriller and suspense, which I agree with. And I would just kind of throw in a little bit of a mystery as well. I don't know if there are any discussion questions in the physical copy of the book. Some topics of discussion can be, does the system get it right more often than not? Is there an imbalance of governmental intervention and involvement with families? If so, give examples. Does money and status make one believe they are above the law, or does their money just afford them the ability to get their way in situations due to being able to pay for better representation? Does having better financial means make you a better parent? How so? A conversation on how parental behaviors and traits are found in the child, even though they don't have contact with each other. Like, if the child never had contact with biological parents, but they have the mannerisms and, quirks and things of the parent, even though they've never met. Talk about each parent's role and their actions. Do you agree, disagree, and what would you have done the same or different? Converse about hospital procedures and the ways this could have been prevented. Now, have measures progressed over the years enough to prevent this from happening in hospitals? I'm sure you can come up with more things to discuss after reading this book. I did leave quite a bit out so that you can come up with your own conversation starters. I also left out quite a bit so that you will be hopefully intrigued to crack this book open and read it for yourself and find out all the shenanigans and happenings that occurred and the outcome. The author did provide a note about the book. However, it was very short and wasn't what I would consider an explanation of the book concept and backstory of its development. It was more like an acknowledgement of those that contributed their expertise or insight for the story. It really didn't expand upon how this book was cultivated, the concept, or any of that. So, not really what I would consider an author's note to give us insight on their perspective or why they went down a certain road with this book, which would have been interested to get a little bit more explanation. Um, yes, I understand the book and its concept and the information provided, but I would just like to pick the author's brain as to how they came up with this, why they came up with this, and why did they choose the direction that it took. But, you know, yeah. So the narrators are Amelia Cormack, Ben Elliott, and Peter Forbes. And they did a great job conveying the story and bringing the characters to life. The audiobook is 11 hours long. I didn't want to put the book down. I mean, I was listening to it and there were times I had to stop and I truly did not want to stop. I was invested in finding out the outcome. I was invested to see what happened with these children and these parents. It's like I got sucked in and I just had to find out the ending. Okay. I enjoyed this high intensity story. Okay. And Man, it would have you irritated, shocked, concerned, clutching the pearls, and be at the edge of your seat to see how things play out. So thank you, Alicia Nguyen, for a wonderful suggestion. I gave this book a 9.5 out of 10. I felt that, like, at the very, very end, I wanted it to keep going. I would definitely be interested in reading what happens next with these characters for sure, especially how the children grow up. Like, there needs to be a sequel. Like, there has to be a sequel because I want to know about the parents and how they fared after this insane roller coaster of a situation. But then I also want to know how the children grew up and how they fared in relations to, their mental state, their emotional state, how did they grow up in terms of behaviors and things like that. So this book was very intriguing. And so I really did like it. I just wanted more. I wanted more. I wanted more. Okay, I need some more. So give us another one. If you haven't read the book, go get it. Tell me what your thoughts are. If you have read the book, comment what you think. I want to know what you thought about this book. If you have spoilers, just go ahead and type spoilers at the beginning of your comment. That way, if someone hasn't read the book, they can just kind of scroll past that. So thank you so much, Alicia Nguyen, for the month of May viewers' choice pick. That was wonderful. Now it is time to pick the June selection for the viewer's choice book. Okay, so let me get the handy dandy vase. Every month there is a drawing, and you, the viewer, are able to submit your suggestions in the comments. All genres are welcome. Submit as many as you like because your participation is what will keep this thing going. Okay. If your suggestion is pulled from this handy dandy vase, you will be given a shout out in the review video, just as Alicia Nguyen has in this one. So you are going to get credit for suggesting a book to read and review. So you get your shout out, okay? You get credit for that. And so keep them coming. I do have a few to add to the base, which I will be doing. I'm getting suggestions from my Facebook page, from people in person. So I will add those to the handy dandy base, okay? And so let's see what we shall read for the month of June. Oh my God, like, it's in the middle of the year. Dang. Time flew by fast, didn't it? Like, wow. We're in June. Woo! All right. Let's see who it will be. I will say the viewer's choice have been very good so far. They have been things that I may not have read, which helps me broaden my literary horizons and hopefully broaden yours as well. So keep those book suggestions coming. Doesn't matter which genre, all genres are welcome. And if you are an author, man, you should be blowing up my comments suggesting your book because what better way to get your name and book out there by than word of mouth, okay? One more person that knows who you are and knows about your work is a one more possible fan you can have. Okay, one more possible book sale that you can have. So if you're an author, you really should be putting your book in the comment section. Okay, there is no shame to the game. Okay, get it in there. All right, so let's see who we will have. Hopefully, it ain't nothing too crazy. It's June, so we'll see. Okay, who we got? Okay, we have a long timer. She has been participating from probably the very beginning, I would safely say. So Angel Jordan, and the book is called Helium by Ruby Francesco. Helium by Ruby Francesco. And Angel Jordan suggested it. Now, I know Angel Jordan likes those horror mystery type books. So I'm assuming this is along those lines. Again, that is an assumption. But it's probably a pretty good guess. So that is the viewer's choice read for June, Helium by Ruby Francesco. So we shall see how that book goes. So stay tuned in June to find out about that book. Okay. So thank you so much for tuning in. Go ahead, click that like, share, subscribe. Yeah, you know, I know that you guys are coming back and watching these videos. I see the numbers. So you might as well subscribe. It costs you absolutely nothing. Okay? Just go ahead and click subscribe. Um, click the like button. Share it. Tell a friend. Have them come on over, look through the Rolodex of reviews so that they can find something wonderful to read for themselves. Sharing is caring. So that is all for this round. And as always, until next time, keep turning the pages, book lovers.